2NURFM, a broadcast service of the University of Newcastle.
Lovely to have Professor Tim back in the studio from the Tom Farrell Institute for the Environment at the University of Newcastle. And you came forth with an amazing statement a couple of minutes ago. We were talking about science, and I hopefully get it right. You said, we don't get it right all the time. We get it wrong, but hopefully we get better or more righter. That's the Todd language.
Yes,
good morning.
I did say that, and I'm sorry I used that incorrect grammar, but basically science is really a near approximation to what might be the truth, and each year and each time you get a new brain, you get a little bit closer to the truth. But understanding how all these things work is the business of science, and really, we're not right all the time. We just get a little bit righter. You know?
That's it. We're not right all the time, but we get a little bit righter. Epigenetics. Okay, they say that you are what you eat, and you may be what your grandfather ate. Epigenetics.
Exactly. It's the missing link between nature and nurture. Now, in terms of nature, what we've got is we've got DNA, we've got Charles Darwin, he told us about evolution, and then Watson and Crick came along and they found the genetic code of just 4 bases, so you can make up all your genes, and on these 4 letters, A, T, G and C, you put them together, you can copy them, and it all works. It's fantastic. But what about nurture? And what we found is that what your parents do, what a single cell does, it can get little tags on it, which then make that cell do something differently, because we all start off as one cell, and then we go to brain cells, we go to muscle cells.
Or some of us go to brain cells.
Yes, all those things. And it's a bit like the nature part is a manual on how to repair your car. And the nurture part is someone gets to that manual and they go in there with a couple of different coloured text highlighters, and they highlight that bit in yellow that says this is important, we've got to go this way, this bit in purple which says you don't really need that to know that anymore. And so the cells differentiate with all these little tags on them, and it's the tags on the genes that is epigenetics.
And is this why identical twins are not in fact identical?
Oh, you're fantastic. Yes, absolutely, because somewhere along the line there was some highlighting put on some of their genes that said, well, we don't need this one, or we do need this one, and so as they differentiate into a whole human body, millions of cells, slightly different.
Okay, so digging a little bit deeper, there's that old line, if someone, in my case, for many, many years, I'm not fat, I'm just big-boned, or I blame my ancestors for it. We mentioned the fact that you could possibly be what your grandfather or your grandmother ate. Explain that.
Well, it seems as though that this highlighting business, these epigenetic tags, get put on at certain times in the life of an individual. So you are at a certain stage laying down cells that will make your sperm cells when you grow up, right? And so similarly, as you're about to conceive at the time of ovulation or give birth, the conditions of the environment can get recorded by epigenetic tags on your genes, so your offspring are, we think, better placed to survive. So in a simple sense, fat mothers have fat babies, and our Vice-Chancellor did some fantastic work when she was in Adelaide with a group there who studied sheep. And they looked at fat sheep and skinny sheep at the time of ovulation. They looked at fat ewes and skinny ewes at the time of lambing. And their studies showed that, indeed, these epigenetic markers can come on, and so the way that lamb grows, whether it's a big lamb or a little lamb, fat lamb, skinny lamb, if you like, the way that happens is due to those events that happened sometime in the past, and that's epigenetics.
So simplifying it, if you were a husband and wife now and you decided we are going to exercise, we are going to eat properly, we're going to have a healthy lifestyle, you could possibly be laying the foundations for your grandkids, great-grandkids and great-great-grandchildren to be healthier.
Yeah, no, what you're saying is right, but just like when you photocopy something, sometimes the highlighting doesn't come across to the photocopy, or you do it a few times and it's gone. So it seems as though it might run 1 or 2 generations, but then get wiped out or reprogrammed, and all of that we don't understand. But so I was waving my finger when you said great grandchildren, but we certainly can see it for 1 or 2 generations. And I might say I don't understand any of this other than a little tiny bit. That's fascinating, but there's a lot of work to be done to make to give us answers, and certainly exercise seems to put certain tags on that are good tags for your children. So exercise now before you have your children, but you might have to do it before your sperm mother cells are formed, which meant you might have to do it when you're 10 years old.
Oh, see, there's always something, isn't there? You're going to be a very busy man. You got some homework for us next week?
Oh yes, we'll have a look at making Newcastle a cycle-safe city.
Okay, mammals, middle-aged men in Lycra, get ready for this, because we'll find out about that next week.